Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the beginning of course, the new Star Wars universe and exactly what's happening between both George, Jon, and Dave Filoni to really evolve the Star Wars brand like never before, to really make it all the more satisfactory to the Star Wars fandom around the entire globe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So what's really exciting right now is that, yes, we have a lot of things happening at the same exact time. The Book of Boba Fett essentially marked the very beginning of how Disney and Lucasfilm are beginning this new universe. Of course, the Boba Fett series got a lot of mixed reactions based on some of the chapters that were provided to the fans. Ultimately, chapters 5 and 6 were indeed the best episodes for specific reasons, obviously. But when we go ahead and look at everything deeper related to the Book of Boba Fett, it had its moments. It had a lot of great moments in there. I really do feel the same, along with a lot of fans out there. It was a very mixed experience for me. It was a very much, up and down roller coaster of, is this good? Is this, not good? Is it fair? It was very, very hard to really kind of look at the show as a whole. Now, when you look at everything related to George, Jon, and Dave, right, they have a lot of creative pull when it comes to shows that they did not even direct and or write. The greatest example is the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. They actually had a lot of pull on the creative aspects of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show based on how Anakin and Vader and specifically Kenobi would be used in certain scenarios and which worlds would appear. They called some of the shots. Not that they necessarily wrote the story, but they approved and pushed for specific key sequences to be made in the Kenobi series. Of course, they are now busy with the Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano series, and a lot more to come later this year into 2023 as well. But that brings us all the way over to, of course, Jon Favreau and Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano TV series for Disney+, they are also set to reveal multiple new shows at Star Wars Celebration this year that will come as a surprise to Star Wars fans. Now, further, it's noted, however, that behind the scenes, some major changes have been taking place by Disney CEO Bob Chapek in order to make sure that Star Wars stays on target to become as successful as it can be. Now, further, it's noted that recently a lot of things have been made for, of course, Bob Chapek and actually allowing Jon Favreau to make the final call to fire one of the directors that was slated to join The Mandalorian Season 4. The big decision by Favreau was recently approved by Disney CEO Bob Chapek in order to keep Star Wars going on a successful note by having Favreau fire Rob Rodriguez from The Mandalorian Season 4 after his directing style on some of the chapters for the Book of Boba were not well received. It's described that given Rodriguez was also executive producer, he had some creative pull on many of his episodes that he worked on. So, if you guys go ahead and examine, the two big episodes that featured the Vespa gang, the scooter gang, there's no coincidence that they appeared in those two episodes that Rob Rodriguez actually worked on. And that's because he was indeed executive producer. He had a lot of creative pull on the specific episodes that he actually worked on. So just keep that in mind there. So beyond all of that, he had some pull on his creative input for those episodes. However, there are other reasons as to why Rodriguez was let go from the 4th season of The Mandalorian. Rodriguez was actually pushing for Favreau and Filoni to bring in the Vespa gang into the 4th season to be some of the main characters in the story. Given that Rodriguez was also going to be executive producer for Mando Season 4 as well, he had some control over some of the characters to be used in Mando Season 4 over the planned episodes that he was set to direct. Now, this is actually something that both Favreau and Rodriguez did not agree on. And of course, Bob Chapek stepped in and settled the situation by realizing that this was just not going to work with Rodriguez, and of course for Season 4 of Mando. So far, Rodriguez was fired from the 4th season of the series, and that he was going to handle episodes that would involve Boba Fett in the show, along with some new actual characters that are planned to pop up in the series. Now, Rodriguez was officially let go by Favreau, not out of personal reasons, however, just a business decision that was given by the okay by Bob Chapek and left it up to Favreau on the final call to do that. Now, Favreau and Rodriguez get along very well. Favreau just realized he wasn't a good fit for The Mandalorian Season 4, and this is something that's actually going to be a very important episode that will actually bring in characters such as Thrawn, Ezra, and even Sabine Wren, along with Luke and Ahsoka, plus Din, all joining together and going their separate ways on different quests in the 4th season. Now, Mando is described to have a way higher budget and will be on a larger scale with this upcoming season than ever before, with more worlds, more locations, and tons of new characters to join the story. Rodriguez is also going to handle a big connection that Favreau is setting up for Emperor Palpatine in the mandoverse. However, now Filoni will be handling all of that from this point forward in the show. It's something that Favreau is being very careful with and taking his time to evolve the mandoverse effectively. Now, in case you guys did not know this, alright, there is a lot of things happening behind the scenes right now for not just The Mandalorian Season 3, but also The Mandalorian Season 4, and exactly how those two seasons are really going to interconnect with each other. Now, we already know that they're going to be creating tons of different time jumps in between each installment in order to really progress some of these characters like Din, Grogu, Luke, Ahsoka, and more. Now, Mando Season 4 is going to have some kind of overlapping story with the Ahsoka series and how it brings in characters like Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and yes, even Kyle Katarn, one of Luke Skywalker's best Jedi students. So we already know that they are kind of fine-tuning something to do with Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy. If you go by the comics, right, any of his students, weren't really matching up with everything happening with Kyle Katarn coming into the Mandoverse. Now, one thing that we know for sure is that one thing that they are settled on is giving Luke Skywalker 3 separate Jedi temples across the galaxy. One of which is the one that you saw in both Mando Season, or should I say the Book of Boba Fett, that felt like the Mandalorian, and of course in The Last Jedi. So those two are actually the same temple. But they are creating 2 other ones. One that's going to take place on Yavin 4, just like in Legends. The other of which is going to be a newly discovered ancient Jedi temple that Luke will claim as his own. So it's really interesting how John, George, and Dave are approaching this. And Rodriguez, let's face it, a lot of fans did not like his episodes specifically. And I've said this time and time again, he was executive producer. He had some creative pull on what was to be used in those episodes, not necessarily the pacing or anything related to the dialogue, but Rodriguez got his way of what he wanted to be thrown into the story here and there. It was actually his idea to throw in the Vespa gang chase in the earlier episode, and also to have them return in the final episode, both of which he directed, by the way. So it's a very interesting, thing that has happened, between Chapek and Favreau finalizing this decision for Mando Season 4, not involving him with the episodes that feature Boba Fett or any of the new characters coming into play here. It is very interesting to note that Dave Filoni will now be handling a big connection that Rodriguez was supposed to with Emperor Palpatine in Mando Season 4. We'll get into that a little bit later. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.